Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Perspectives. We'll be talking about the political situation vis-a-vis the allegations that Mosapi has raised. The allegations, of course, raise certain points as far as corruption is concerned, the accountability is concerned, and also about the National Accountability Bureau. He has made a lot of allegations, whether he has his own axe to grind, whether the allegations made, the issues pointed out are being done because of his own issues, because of some other motive, we don't know. But the point is, we need to realize now and we need to discuss what ramifications this has for our politics, for our across-the-board political parties, for individuals who have been named in this corruption investigation, whether that will come out, whether the decision itself, which should be public, the Court of Appeals decision, the earlier decision will be made public. All of that today on Perspective. I have with me Imtiaz Hussain Virait, who's a legal expert. Thank you for being with us. Imtiaz Sahab, as a lawyer, how do you see the situation? Let's talk about the judgment itself, because we've seen that, the Court of Appeals judgment, because of which he's now asking for money, as I understand it, should be public. Why is it not so?
Yes, thank you very much for inviting me on this important issue. Yes, it should be public because the judgment, when that is announced, that is public property. And in practice, you see that in Pakistan, even judgments of the Supreme Court of Pakistan, they are also public property when those are announced. And yes, during the proceedings, sometimes the meetings are, the hearings are in camera because of sensitivity of some issue. But when there is judgment, then judgment is public property, and that should be public. So it should be public so that the people should see the details of that and the arguments which has been extended while giving this judgment.
Because as I understand it, we are seeing political parties, PTI, the PMLN, all of the political parties claiming it as some sort of victory, some sort of vindication of their own stance. But we won't know more until we have that judgment itself and what it says.
I suggest that the Law Department of Pakistan, the Ministry of Law, they should take up this with the government of UK, and they should try to get the copies of the judgments, and that should be published. And so that the people should be aware that what has been done there, and what are the points which were raised, and on the basis of that judgment was announced. So it should be taken up, I think, at diplomatic level as well as through Ministry of Law of Pakistan with the government of UK.
Is there a reason in your experience where, when you talk about security concerns or sensitive matters, like you yourself have said, apart from in-camera sessions, when you talk about that, are there instances when judgments are not made public for those kind of reasons, in your experience? Does that happen?
No, I have not seen even a single case, because I was recalling myself, because I'm doing legal practice since 80s, and I have not seen even a single case that when the judgment was announced or pronounced, and that was not made public. Because you see that the stakeholders who are affected because of that judgment, they should know, and they should maybe they will have need to file some appeal or these type of things after knowing the grounds which have been taken into consideration while giving judgment. So this is first I have heard, fairly speaking. I have not seen, because camera hearing is yes, okay, that there are many incidents when even Supreme Court of Pakistan, the High Courts of Pakistan, they conduct hearing in camera.
But there are parts of the judgment can be withheld.
But if the part of the judgment has been withheld, I have not seen before, and this is first time I am hearing this. And this is surprised because in UK especially, and this is a civil matter case, you see. This is a matter of give and take and contractual obligations. So it's not a sort of criminal case or case of espionage and these type of things.
So what do we do? Imtiaz Sahab, how do you see this?
I suggest that, like you said, that he has filed suit against Pakistan and he has got compensation of that. Pakistan and the other stakeholders who are suffering because of these allegations, they can also go in the court of law there and file suit against him for compensation. And because if there is something which is concrete, the relevant stakeholder who is going to file suit against him, and he can prove that he is telling lie and there is no base on the allegation he is leveling, So they should also go to court of law and file a suit against him and get compensation.
So then Imtiaz Sahib, then who will file a suit, or who?
No,
All of us.
no,
In our country, let's say, you know, he said Nawaz Sharif family. Of course, he's accused the Sharif family. He has accused NAB.
There is no bar. You see, there is no bar on parties. Everybody can file.
Everybody will file a suit.
Yes, everybody who else has been suffering from that.
But does it mean that he has? If when he's talking about everyone, doesn't it mean that maybe there is something there?
Yes, because of that. If there is nothing, then that's the best case. You see,
I tend to agree with it.
Because
Why not?
Why not?
You think?
Why not?
So will PTI go and institute a case against Mousavi?
So far, there is no allegation on PTI.
But he has actually said, he has named a lot of individuals. He's named. You think NAB will go and go as a party against him?
PTI is not representing NAB.
No, I'm saying
NAB is independent.
No, NAB has to go
If
through.
NAB is
That's
independent,
what I'm saying. So not PTI.
To government.
It's an institution, independent.
To government.
Right,
So
that's
NAB
what I'm
can go. I mean, it is the jurisdiction of the NAB because allegations.
No,
have
it's
been
up
made
to
on
the
not-
government. It's
Through
not
government.
up to
Through
NAB to decide.
Through government.
Of course, they can. They have to use Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They have to ask the government. But
So in a sense, the government will then have to decide will they back NAB or not. Am I not
no,
right?
first of all, NAB has to decide. The allegation has been made against NAB, and if NAB thinks, then NAB should approach the government that we want to
That
contact.
is part of Pakistan. You see, that is part
But
of
that's what I'm saying. It's an institution
That
of
is
this
state
country.
institution.
The government has to take some
Yes,
responsibility.
why not? Why not?
That there's a lot of meat there, so to speak. I'll come back to you, G. in that.
know the identity of these people
Let
and
me just come back to you.
You see, actually, you see that there is no state within a state because NAB is one of the institutions of the government of Pakistan, and that is institutional state. So actually, we have to see that if one institution is being defamed because of some allegations, actually that is the allegation against the government of Pakistan, against the state. So as Dr. Niaz has said that if the name is not coming forward, and then government of Pakistan can ask comments from them and ask
Unless-
recommendation from them.
And as I
that's what will
understand,
be done in the
Jawad,
investigation.
right, that's what I wanted to come to. Jawad
Yeah,
Sahib is
that
saying
will
that
be done
there's
in the
already an
investigation.
investigation underway
Yeah.
to investigate those allegations that Mousavi has made.
Yeah.
But the point is, can we just leave this matter and wait for this investigation, or does this not, leave a lot of? There's need to think about what's happened here. We can say that Mousavi might have an ulterior motive because of which he's making these allegations. But on the other hand, we are as a country, he's implicated across the board political parties. There are certain military people he's also named. There are, he's named. It's a Pandora's box.
Yes,
but the
of course.
point is, do we choose to open it? Do we choose to be ourselves and further investigate ourselves as a society, or do we just choose to leave it? That's the point.
I must say that we should also try to divert our attention towards other areas as well, because there is just some other motives behind that allegations, just to defame Pakistan, defame the institutions of Pakistan. So there may be some other motives, maybe on the behest of some other power or some other countries. He is doing that, and maybe because of some other enemies of Pakistan, he is doing that. So we must have to
But
attend
why
that.
would-
We
why-
must have to attend that. The government of Pakistan should attend that and should not leave it, because if we leave that, and certainly
No, but he's only doing that because of this judgment, and he's been quiet since now. It's a money issue, no?
the judgment is announced. You see, judgment is announced.
But does he not still? I mean, is he owed more money? Is there?
I guess what I have heard and I have assessment that he wants further contract with the government of Pakistan on some terms, as you have mentioned in your intro, that he wants some type of percentage on the recovery of money which he is assuring, or he is trying to talk or negotiate on that he will recover from Mianwasi family and others, etc., etc. So far, if we see his past performance, that was not so remarkable. You see, that after 2006, when Mianwasi came back after NRO, and he was being, you see that the contract was being, the government of Pakistan was going to eliminate or to talk with him to finish that contract. And when his property was, you see, went to liquidation in 2009. I hope so. And thereafter, when it's revived, and again he filed case against government of Pakistan. So now I guess that he has one motive is that he want to have some further deal and contract with government of Pakistan, and rather he has also offered that he can pay back that compensation which he has received from state. And
Provided he has another contract and provided he gets a percentage of it.
that
as well.
percentage of
Right. See
Yeah.
what happens as far as far as an ordinance is concerned. What's the procedure if they want to strike it down, or if they? I mean, it's up to the presidential.
Yeah, that requires simple majority. You see,
Right. You don't need.
there's no need of you see like constitutional reform. There's need of 2/3 majority in both the houses. But
So it just on paper, if the government today chooses to
Yes.
do away with NAB, they can do so. They don't need the
and one
opposition
thing-
as far as NAB
yes,
is.
and one thing also I want to mention here, because relevant to that case which has been gone against Pakistan, that at the time of signing a contract, why they don't keep the jurisdiction of Pakistani courts and Pakistani law should be applicable on those contracts. At that time, those terms should be. I must say that
Those terms should be disclosed. you're saying.
disclosed and looked at, because if they are accepting the jurisdiction of UK courts and UK laws, then the situation will be, we have to face these type of situation. But when we are doing a contract relevant to Pakistani affairs, why not the jurisdiction of Pakistani courts should apply there? Why not the laws of Pakistan should apply there? So it should be taken care in future, I must want to say.
You're saying
I
that
would just add that,
jurisdictional issues, I will come back to you, Jawad sir. As far as jurisdictional issues are concerned, you're saying that it is up to us to choose the jurisdiction.
Yes, of course, because that is the affairs of Pakistan.
Because it's right, but it's between a private company,
contractual parties.
right, contractual parties.
They have to
We can
decide.
stipulate
They have
at
to
this
decide.
time.
They have to
Right,
decide.
okay. As we sit here today and we talk about the issue of the allegations that have been leveled against across the board political parties, certain individuals of this country, the point is not whether there is something behind these allegations, whether these are perpetuated by some vested interest or not. The point at this time is for us to ponder on the fact that as a society riddled with corruption, does it not show us that there is corruption in this society? Does it not show us that this society is full of individuals that are corrupt within the form of, which are in fact a part of this system? And how do we change that in our society? Of course, it is a time to ponder on that. It is a time to look at what we can do as far as reform is concerned. When we talk about across-the-board reform, when we look at investigative bodies responsible for investigating individuals on corruption and themselves now being, targeted, themselves now being accused, how do we change that? It is perhaps a time to look at all that. It is a time to change that. It is a time to come together as a society to deal with that. Let's hope that we can do that. Thank you so much for joining us today on Perspective.